Still fighting this corona hair, right? Jeez. Anyway, we're gonna be leaving for a out west tour. So we are going to be heading out west, visiting the Black Hills again. We've been there once, but we would like to do it again. We felt like we didn't do as much as we wanted to do. Then we're gonna hit the Tetons through Wyoming, then on to Yellowstone, and maybe up to Glacier, and then come back through North Dakota. And if we do it right, we're gonna be gone 3 weeks. If we have a lot of fun, we might be gone more like 4. If we're really having a bad time, it might be less. But we're just gonna kind of roll with it. With everything going on, we haven't made many reservations. Actually, we have not made any. I have a lot of boondocking sites mapped out in my RV Trip Wizard. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to try and record as much as we can. Look forward to any advice or comments, or any suggestions you might have for us. We'd love to hear them. I'm in full project mode here. I even got a long sleeve shirt on. What's up with that? We're trying to get ready. Last day before we leave on our trip, and let me show you what we're working on here. So why do I have a long sleeve shirt on? Well, let me tell you, or show you. I just wrapped the exhaust in some fiberglass wrap. And I even went around the turbo here a little bit to act as a turbo blanket. So that should improve our cooling situation and, in a way, our boost performance situation a little bit. The other thing I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna cut some slits into here and make some louvers that will just kind of help exhaust some air. So that's I think that's the next thing I'm gonna do, just to try and keep this whole bay a little bit cooler, and hopefully maybe keep the back bedroom cooler. You can see I added some spray foam insulation down there. If you remember from a video we did, geez, a couple of years ago now, Black Hills is a special place for us, but it's not all great memories. We almost overheated the engine and maybe cooked it. So I really want to make sure that our cooling situation is as good as it can be, and I also know how to drive this thing a whole lot better. If you don't know, new subs and all that stuff, with a diesel engine like this, you have to keep the RPMs up to keep it cold. You are better off running at the governor in like first, second gear, whatever, than running third or fourth gear and not staying off the pedal, because all that does is let heat build up. This engine has to spin to get rid of heat. That's just the way it works. I didn't know that. I know it now. So anyway, we're gonna try and keep getting this cool. We've got some other projects going on, and we'll probably show you those as well. All right, so here's something else I'm working on. It kind of looks butt ugly right now, but just because there's a lot of grinding wheel dust on here, and obviously I didn't get my cuts perfect. They wobbled a little bit. It's tough, but I think it'll look a lot better. I'm going to sand all the edges down a little bit. Who knows, maybe do some more of that. And then do the same on the other side. But I'll probably show you how I do it, because I wasn't sure if this is gonna work or not, but I kind of like it. So I'm gonna cut my slits there. I'm doing 3 inches down and then 3 inches in, and then a slit every 1.5 inches. So I'm gonna cut those, and then maybe I'll show you how I bend them. All right, so I got done cutting these ones right here. I used the angle grinder, and I feel like I cut these a lot better than I did that one. I kind of learned the technique. Had a couple of screw ups there, but I'll show you how to actually make the bends on here, and I just kind of figured it out by accident. So this is what I've been doing. I'm going to start with a middle one here because I find that's a little easy. This is from a jack, so it's just the part that you crank on, but it's got a good radius, and you'll see how I use it. So you got to jam it in there, and then I use a hammer and I pound it over. It'll be a little bit loud, so I'll explain what I'm doing and then I'll do it. And then you have to, when you're doing that, you have to crank it to like a 45-degree angle. You can see how it bends. And then what that does is it bends the bottom half of this one and the top half of this one. So you just pound it in there. And I found it's important to do here too a little bit, just to keep it even. And then go to the other side. It's not perfect, but you know, you adjust it, and there's a couple of parts here where it bent out. I might take my vice grips and try and re-flatten that part out, which is where the radius of this bent it out more than I'd like, but it's not bad. I think it'll do the job. On to the next one. So I guess we'd call these redneck louvers, I guess. But it should help keep the bus a lot cooler. See kind of the backside there. I'll probably sand up, try and clean up the sharp edges on the backside. Clean up these here a little bit, and then I'll put a fresh coat of black Rust-Oleum paint on it and call it good. Not bad. I think it only took me about an hour, I think. Oh, well, we've made a slight change in our plans. We're not going to be leaving early afternoon or even this morning. Actually, there's only afternoon now. It's a little after 12 because it is really hot today. Our bus does not do all that well pulling the van in 90+ degree heat. So, and neither does anybody else. We only have 2 roof airs, so it's tough to stay cool. So we are going to delay until this evening, but that means I get to keep working on some projects. So you can probably already see behind me, we finished up the louvers. I did get those painted. I think they look pretty good. Let me show you what else we're going to be working on. So in this bay here, we have I put in a little small refrigerator that we can use for storing, you know, pop or, you know, kind of cooking outside stuff. So we don't have to constantly be going in and outside. But there needs to be some shelves in there, so I'm gonna work on that. It shouldn't take me much, probably more than a half hour to do. I did the one here real quick. Didn't take really all that long at all. It's a little trickier because I gotta hide some of the utilities that are in there. You probably see our old RV furnace in there. I think that's gonna go away here soon enough, but I'm just gonna build something kind of quick and dirty. It'll get the job done. But I'm not really all that excited about that. I'm excited about these right here. Putting in some clearance lights. They come through. Oh, it's tough to see here. See, the wires come through right through the back. I had to drill some pretty big holes all the way through. This thing right here is solid aluminum. It actually acts as a kind of to protect the bay doors. So I drilled through that, but they're not wired up yet or anything. I'll show you what I'm doing for the wiring. So I got a little wiring station made up here. Here are all the lights we're going to put on. We have about 20 of them. Plus I have a couple up front. I was planning on doing the ones that were clear because I think they would look a little bit better. But I accidentally ordered these and I have them, and I can swap them out later if I want. I'd rather it be lit up at night and more visible. And it also helps with maneuvering in the dark, being able to see different things in the mirrors and all that. So so what I did is I have, where's my thing? Oh yeah. So I made up a template that I actually put on the door to cut. I clamp it on, and then this is where I drill the big hole for the wires to go through, and then 2 mounting holes. And it's spaced out so that if you were to measure from here to here versus this side to the next one over, it's the same distance apart, which took a little time. As you can see my marks, took a little time to get that sorted. And then I'm using that kind of as a template for my wiring here, and I just have this set up, just a little battery there, just to test this, make sure I got everything right before I put it in. I'm using a whole bunch of these disconnects because many times these don't last forever. They will burn out. I've had to replace a couple on our bus already, so they do not last forever. So it's important to plan for replacing them. So that's my plan there. And I think I might have one of the kids make these while I drill holes, because it's a lot easier to fix redo one of these than it is to redo the holes over there. So, oh, there are my sad generators. You know, on that, we've been thinking a little bit more. I might try and, I've been looking at prices on rotors. They're not that bad. I might actually try and fix one of them. If I can get it working good, I may, who knows? Maybe I'll end up with 2 good working generators. Who knows? Not right now. We're going all solar, baby. Well, still haven't left yet. I did get the lights done. They're all on there. You can kind of see them a little bit. It's Thursday morning here now. I think we were planning on leaving Wednesday morning sometime, but as the day wore on, I just felt like I was going to be too stressed. Just didn't know if we had everything and we're going to be gone so long. It just doesn't make sense to leave that way. So I'm taking my time this morning, packing up everything, and then hopefully we're going to hit the road. So got a couple more things to take care of. Got to check the hub oil and all the tires, or the wheels and stuff. Tow dolly hooked up, and then yeah, and then I think we're gonna hit it. So next video will probably be from the road somewhere. So until then, see you next time.